Welcome back, viewers. Today we will be testing the BB monitor indicator. But before we do, if you have not watched our first video and the videos after that, you need to go do that now. At the Academy of Forex, we are building the best trading system possible as a team. And as a team, we will all profit from it when we are done. You can find a link to the first video down below. You can also find a link to sign up for TradingView down below. If you use the link below, you will save a little bit of money. You can also find a link below to join us on Discord. Discord is a free group communication platform. On our Discord server, we are having great conversations about all things regarding trading. One of the biggest struggles on this channel is people who use other platforms like MT4 being able to follow along. Sometimes it can be hard to find the indicators we are using on other platforms. And so on our Discord server, I have created a channel for indicator creation. And on that channel, I pinned links to freelancers who can code indicators for MT or for TradingView. So if you don't want to create a TradingView account, you can hire a freelancer for a really small fee and have them code an indicator for the MT platform. Or if you are on TradingView and need an indicator created, something unique or an indicator for a system you have developed, you can also have them code PineScript. So use the link for either MT4 coding or use the link for PineScript. Lastly, I get a lot of people that are asking me for the entire list of all the winning indicators that we have tested to date. And whereas I am not a big proponent of gatekeeping information, I've put a lot of time and effort into creating the content on my YouTube channel. And so I don't think it is too much to ask for the viewers to go through and view the content that I've spent a lot of time creating. Now, if you are not interested in supporting our channel by going back and watching the content that I have created, then I have developed a solution for you. I've created a Patreon account. I will put a link to it down below in the description. If you sign up for Patreon and you sign up for the $9 a month account, I will send you the full list of tested and winning indicators to date. I will also send you an updated list of the indicators that we are testing at the end of each week. Now, of course, you have to stay subscribed to the $9 subscription, monthly subscription, to continue to receive the updated list of indicators. But that way it will provide me with the support that I need to continue to provide the free content that I am putting out for everybody to view. Now, if you just love the channel in general and want to support us, then there is also a lower, I think $3 Patreon subscription that you can sign up for that will also help support the channel and keep things going so that way I can continue to produce the content and the open information that we are creating here in this channel and in our Discord server. Again, if you have not signed up for our Discord, then you need to do that as well. It is a absolutely free platform where we have real-time ability to chat and have conversations about trading. And again, if you want to support the channel with Patreon, then you can find the link down below in the description. Alright, as I said, today we will be testing the BB monitor indicator. But before we do, I wanted to put the indicator scoreboard up for everyone to see. So to date, we have tested 154 indicators, and out of those 154 indicators, 63 of them have been winners, which means that they have met or exceeded the 60% win-loss ratio threshold that we have set for them. The best ones so far were able to achieve a 100% win rate. Now you need to go back and watch those videos to understand the context of how they were able to achieve that. But as we are working on building the best trading system possible, you could take any one of these 63 indicators and get out there and start potentially profitably trading the markets with them now. So go back and watch those videos, make a list of those indicators, and get out there and see what you can do with them. But stick with us here as we work on maximizing your trading profits. All right, so today's indicator is the BB Monitor indicator. It is a TradingView member created indicator, and so of course you can find a link to it down below in the description. You can see it down here on the bottom of the screen. It's not a whole lot to it. It is basically a zero-line histogram. And it is monitoring the Bollinger Bands. And so that is where it's reading its information off of. Basically, the setup is pretty simple. When it jumps up green from crossing over the zero line, that is a signal to go long. When it drops down below red, that is a signal to go short. And so, like I said, pretty simple, and that's basically how we will be testing it today. I think I am going to change. Let's do this. There we go. Make it stand out just a little bit more, a little bit easier to see, kind of matching our colors up here. All right, and just for the fun of it, let's go ahead and scroll back a little bit. Go ahead and mark out the support and resistance areas here. And so again, anytime you're marking out support and resistance areas, it's pretty much a good time. It's pretty much a good practice to do it anytime you are getting ready to do chart analysis. And so basically you start with the most extremes. And so the very top and the very bottom. Mark out those 2 points. And then you start working your way down from there. So you work your way down to the next lowest level from the top. And you mark those out. And then you mark out the next lowest or next highest level from the bottom. You mark those out. And then you just keep following it down, trying to get an idea of where price action may or may not find some kind of level of support and resistance. And you don't want to get too crazy with this when you're doing it. I mean, you could really narrow in and do peak after peak after peak, but you want to keep it kind of loose. You don't want to narrow things in too far. After all, again, these are just kind of general areas, general zones. These aren't really, specific exact lines in the sand. And so we can kind of get a grid pattern like that and just kind of keep an eye on price action as we're doing things. All right, as I said, when we go green, that is a signal to go long. When we go red, that is a signal to go short. Let's play it out and see what we can get. All right, so it looks like we did pick up a short right here for just a moment. It's our first signal right there. And immediately it turned around and went green on us, and so therefore stopping us out on the first signal that we got. Let's go ahead and play it forward. Price action is kind of bouncing around off these support and resistance areas. You can see that spiked through a few of them here, but it's now sitting right in this little cluster. And so let's keep an eye on it, see what it does. It's going to go ahead and push up some more. We did get a long over here. That one did work out in our favor. Let's go ahead and keep playing it forward. And so price action came up here, bounced off this area. Let's go ahead and fill that in. And price action didn't really set up in any real clear way to be able to determine that it was going to have a pullback in this area. I mean, it was, it was kind of a setup, but definitely not one that was so blatantly clear that that would have been, a definite trade for sure. And so the problem is we had a push up here and a long drawn out pullback right here for many days, and then another small push here that really only did one, and then one push up, a pullback, and then one push up. And so it really didn't even run through kind of a full set of 3 cycles or more before it then pulled back and had a sharp pullback right there. And so that one would have been definitely challenging to really get an idea for sure that it was going to actually have this strong of a pullback. Now we seem to be developing an M pattern here, and I personally am not fond of this kind of a pattern. I if, depending on the trading circles, you will hear people say that this is a definite setup, that when you see a setup like this take place, some people call it a double top, some people call it a market maker M. It just depends on what person's referring to it. And so the reason I don't like this in this particular setup right here, and you see it, from time to time. I wouldn't say it's extremely often or extremely common, but you definitely see it, a good deal. And so what I don't like about this is that it pushed up and had a strong drawback right here and then another push up. I feel like that kind of messes with the pattern. You don't get as much follow through, in my opinion, when there is drawn out legs like this. Now, if it would have happened in a real tight configuration without days and days of pullback and then another push to the upside, then yeah, it's possible that it would be a little bit cleaner. Another thing that I don't like is, again, how far this pulled back. It's not the fact that it pulled back for so long, it's how far down it pulled back. And then it bounced back up. And I feel like it lost a lot of its momentum when it did that. I prefer to have a real clean kind of setup with a strong push, 3 or more kind of pullbacks, small pullbacks in the move up or down, and then a rollover that is, just a clean price action, clean looking price action type setup. This right here, I am not fond of. People will tell you to trade it. They would say to go short right here and to ride this down, and you possibly get something like down to here type setup. I see this a lot, and in my opinion, I'm just not fond of that. If you can get good at calling those, hey, that's wonderful. Then do your thing, make your money. But I personally, like I said, I don't like them. Not a setup like this, not with so much spread out between them. So, all right, let's get back to it here. We get a long signal over here. And almost immediately drops out on us. Let's go ahead and play it forward and see if this thing does make its way down or if it does stall out here a little bit and then start to punch its way back up. Not really sure what's going to happen, but let's see. So it pulled its way down. There you go. It did make the move, and so in this case, those the chart pattern readers on this M would have worked out well. Like I said, it's not that it's not that it won't work. I'm not saying that. It's that, in my opinion, I just don't prefer that setup. Let's see here. So there was a short here. That one worked out for us. And let's see what happens when it gets down here to kind of this far leg. This is the kind of move that I prefer to look for. We've had a strong push in one direction, many days. We haven't had a lot of pullbacks in here, but we've definitely had a few that came down, retraced for a moment, came down, retraced for a moment, came down, kind of had a little bit of a retrace. It's now bumping into some weakness in the momentum and running into a lot of support and resistance lines here. So just keep an eye on it and see what it does. There it goes. It spiked right there. Big green candle. That would have been a little bit challenging to get a hold of because it happened so quick, but it spiked up and then almost immediately came back down for a pretty strong move. Let's see what happens now. And it looks like it's starting to set up a little bit better for a move to the upside. Had this push down, then a this long push down, then a strong move up. This is a little bit stronger of a move up than I would really like to see, like an ideal situation, but it moved up, and then when it pulled back, it didn't create a lower low and is now starting to bounce again and retrace. And so this is usually a pretty good sign. These are the kind of setups that I prefer to look for, and there's a reasonable chance that this is going to make its way to the upside. It may come down a little bit more and then do it, or it might just shoot right up and out. And so, and then you can see down here to top it off on the bottom of the screen, we have our indicator here, or the monitor here is starting to show a weakness in the momentum in the downward move, which means that it's starting to roll over and the bulls are starting to come in and pull some pressure up and out. Let's go ahead and play it forward and see what it gets. Push down a little bit more. And took a little bit of time, but there it goes, starts to bounce up a little bit. Didn't get too much of a bounce out of it. Not yet anyways. Looks like it may, like I said, pull down a little bit here and then start to take off. But we would have gotten at least take profit out of it over here. Let's see. So we picked up a long signal over here. That would have worked out for us. Short signal over here. Believe this one would have been all right too. Yes, it would have. There we go. And now we're going to play it forward here a little bit. And there it goes. It's starting to make that good push to the upside now. And it's a little premature, but it's had this pretty strong push to the upside. Few pullbacks in between, working with it here. You can see that it's starting to kind of roll over the top at this point, and it is starting to lose its momentum according to the BB monitor here. And so this is a little premature in this move right here because it hasn't had a real strong move, but enough of a move that it could roll over and start to go down. Would I take the trade at this point? It's a little uncertain. I would have to have some other confirmations to take it, but it's looking pretty decent as far as price action goes. All right, so let's go ahead and play it out and see what happens. A little bit of weakness there. Let's see if we can finally get that push downward. Yep, there it goes. Finally rolls over. and pulls itself downward. And we got a decent signal over on that side and a decent signal over here coming down on this side. Price action is retraced pretty much the entire move at this point back down to this area, but it hasn't done so with a lot of conviction. I know that you would think that if it moved up that amount and then it came back that amount, then we should probably start to look for another bounce to the upside, but it doesn't always necessarily work that way. You can see that it just slowly kind of trickled its way down here, and that can be problematic. Generally, you want a good, solid, clean move. It's not to say that it won't come down here and then start to retrace back up a little bit, but at this point, I would leave it alone. Let it play itself out a little bit here. And it's working. Let's see, we picked up a long signal right here. That got us to take profits there on that one. We picked up a short over here on this side. We're developing kind of a double bottom here, or you could think of it as a W, which is the inverted market maker M type setup here. And again, it's not that these patterns won't work, it's that I just I'm hesitant to trade them. And again, that's because it did push down and it had this really strong relief move right here. And so a lot of the people who may have been looking to take this in a long position probably got in here, rode this out, most likely took some profit from it, came back down, exited out of their position, and moved on and is looking for other setups at this point and not really looking at this one again because they got their move out of it. And so that's why I really am not so fond of this type of setup. Let's go ahead and play it out and see what happens. And once again, it got a decent move to the upside. And so once again, it's like I said, it's not that they don't work. They're just not my favorite setup. I prefer to get back. I prefer to get in over here as this first leg is forming. And sometimes you get a lot of momentum and shoot it up and out. Sometimes you just take profit here and it bounces back down and you just kind of leave and let it do its thing. That was a short there. That one didn't work out for us too well. Then we pick up a long here. That one didn't work out for us either. And so obviously, if you kept an eye out for these market maker M's, market maker, you could call it a market maker W, I guess, then, it's possible. They're a solid price action type setup. Let's go ahead and play it out some more here. Plugging along. It's wiggling around, not really doing much at this point. Let's see. Signal over here. Let's make sure that. What was our stop? 135. Yeah, we're still good over here. Short. Off. This one. Had a little bit of a retrace, but worked out for us. Let's go ahead and play it out. Price action is now broke down below this area. It hasn't made a strong push down at this point, which is why I don't really like this setup. But this kind of price action right here is very, very telling of a reversal type move. Again, we seen it back over here on the other side. It pushes down, comes up with a strong little move, then starts to pull back, but doesn't make a lower low, or if it was reversed, it wouldn't make a higher high, and then it bounces again, breaking up above the area that it first tried to go to. And so this is a really decent price action pattern to watch out for. Let's go ahead and play it out, see what it does. Didn't move too far, but it definitely, especially with this spike from this candle right here, would have got you a good deal of profit before you eventually either stopped out or could possibly still be in it at this point, as it's just kind of channel trading back and forth, not really deciding where it wants to go. Keeps hinting to the upside, but not quite going for it. All right. And there we have it. We are at the end of the year. So let's go ahead and erase the support and resistance lines. Just clean things up a little bit. There we go. Let's go ahead and count these out. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So 14 trades all together. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we have 9 winning trades. And so that will barely make us, barely get us to the 60% win rate. And so this one is going to go on the yes list. All in all, not a bad indicator. I think it could be refined a little bit, maybe with a few other indicators involved. But all in all, pretty solid, not too bad. It's based off Bollinger Bands, and so Bollinger Bands, all in all, are pretty solid indicator as well. And so, yeah, not a bad indicator. So, like I said, it's going on the yes list, and we will move on to the next indicator from here.
If you have not already, like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so that way you are notified anytime I post a new video. As part of the team, it's important that you are seeing the new videos as they come out so you know what it is that we are discussing and what indicators we are testing, have tested, and have not tested. Also, like usual, there is a link below in the description to the Discord server. You can join us on Discord so that way we can further discuss the indicators and have discussions as we move forward building our trading system. And lastly, like usual, there is a link below to TradingView. If you like what you see whenever I use TradingView, and you are interested in signing up for TradingView, if you use the link below and sign up for a paid account, you will save a little bit of money. So, alright everybody, I will see you on the next video.